Let's talk about something you've probably noticed. Something that can be, well, pretty frustrating. We're going to get into the quiet psychology of why your great ideas sometimes get repeated, but your name doesn't.
So, it usually starts like this. You're in a meeting, maybe just chatting with someone, and you share an idea, an insight. And then, maybe a few minutes later, maybe a day later, you hear that exact same thought coming out of someone else's mouth.
It's a weird, unsettling feeling, isn't it? You're sitting there thinking, wait, did I just imagine that? Or should I say something? It's this really common but unspoken frustration that happens all the time.
And that feeling, that experience, it really brings us to the central mystery we're going to unpack today. Because this isn't just about someone forgetting where they heard something. No, there's usually something much deeper going on.
So what is it? Why do people adopt your ideas, repeat what you say, or use your insights but completely leave you out of the picture? It's not always malicious, you know. It's actually a pretty complex bit of human behavior that's worth a closer look.
To really get what's happening, we have to look at the psychology of it all. It's this internal tug-of-war between a really good idea and a kind of fragile ego. And there's a specific name for what's happening here.
It's called idea detachment psychology. Basically, the brain does this little subconscious trick. It sees a valuable idea and says, "Ooh, I'll take that," but it separates it from the person who said it. Why? Because acknowledging that person, the source, feels threatening.
And this is the paradox, right here. The idea gets copied because it's good. That's actually a compliment. But the credit gets withheld because you, the source, are perceived as a threat. It's not about your idea at all. It's about them.
This little chart breaks down that internal conflict perfectly. On the one hand, they see your idea as valuable, useful, powerful, definitely worth repeating. But on the other hand, they see you as a threat to their status, maybe a rival or just an unwelcome challenger.
And this whole conflict is fueled by some really primal instincts. First, they need to protect their own status. And second, that means they have to actively avoid giving you credit. Because deep down, in their mind, acknowledging your contribution can feel like an act of submission.
Okay, so this internal struggle creates this fascinating gap between what people say out loud and what their private ego is actually pushing them to do.
We've all heard the talk, right? Publicly, it's all collaboration is key, and we value every contribution. But privately, the ego's survival instinct kicks in. The thinking is, my position feels threatened, or if I credit them, it elevates them, and, well, what about me? It becomes this zero-sum game that's only being played inside their head.
So, if the issue isn't really about your idea, but it's being driven by their insecurity, what does that mean for you? Well, understanding this can actually shift your entire perspective on the whole thing. And this is the quiet realization. Lack of credit isn't about your clarity, it's about their insecurity. All that time you might spend wondering if you should have said it differently or been more forceful, it's misplaced. The root of it is with them, not you. This is really the key takeaway. It completely reframes the experience. It stops being a personal insult and becomes just an observation of someone else's internal struggle. The strength of your idea is what made it stick. Their insecurity is what made your name disappear.
Which leaves us with this final thought. Some people will repeat your words specifically to avoid repeating your name. The echo of what you said is proof of its impact, and the silence where your name should be, that's proof of their insecurity.